a hoax. It wasn't fake news. It was just I imagine somebody had a really good talking to yesterday at work, because somebody obviously clicked make this article live online about eBay scrapping fees, final value all fees for private sellers a day early. So it was true. Fees have been scrapped. I am absolutely, I can't believe it. I mean, for a private seller, Christmas has come early. It's very reactionary, obviously, to, I mean, I don't think they're that bothered by Depop, but to what how Vinted operate. And the only way to compete with Vinted, they feel, is to scrap fees for private sellers. But fucking hell, I can't believe it. I know, but how? I mean, obviously, it's going to be popcorn and watching the, I imagine, absolute furore from the business sellers with this news. It's going to really get up the backs of business sellers, I think, because they've also sent out an email to business sellers. I've got one saying, oh, we've done this for private sellers, but it's okay because we're doing things for you. Like, as a result of this, we trialed this in Germany and it brought more buyers to the platform, and they were buying from people like you, business sellers. And it's like, and we'll offer you more protections. And whenever they say that, it's usually bollocks. But it's like, well, it's not as good as saving money, though, is it? At the end of the day, it's not as good as like giving us some money off fees. So I can't imagine the backlash they're going to get from this. Right, who's in? Good morning. Michelle, it's amazing. Morning, Catherine, how are you? And I guess postage is all included as well. So the other thing they've announced is simple delivery. They're only doing it on private seller accounts at the moment. Again, literally just copying Vinted. So all private sellers, I believe, now have simple delivery on their items that they're listing. If you don't want simple delivery, you need to go and opt out, which, did I find where that was? Apparently you can turn it off when you're creating the listing. I mean, I think it's great because it's basically like Vinted. So the buyer will choose which delivery service they want. They buy the label through eBay. We're not involved, well, there'll be no fees now anyway, but we're not involved with, that fee thing. Yeah, sorry, that would only be for business sellers. But yeah, so they choose what service they want. I don't know how it would work with like oversized things, whether maybe, oh yeah, because there is I imagine it's shoebox size, because it's up to 50, no, that might not be shoebox, it's up to 15 kilos, but there's also like measurements you've got to follow. And I don't know if that's shoebox size. And so if it's not going to fit those measurements and the kilos, you need to opt out when you're creating your listing. But the thing that interested me was they will actually cover, as long as you get it scanned at parcel shop or wherever, they will cover, like Vinted do, for loss or damage. And that's the thing I've loved about Vinted is, I gave up trying to claim from Every or Royal Mail years ago, because Royal Mail would just send me some stamps and Every impossible. And then I tried to do it through Packlink, like eBay's service thing, once, and just gave up because I couldn't seem to provide the information they wanted, even though like surely they can see all the information. So I just gave up trying to claim for lost or damaged parcels and just footed it myself. But if you've got the simple delivery, they're going to cover it like Vinted. And that's one of the things I've absolutely loved about Vinted is it takes a long time, but they do cover you and you don't lose out if stuff gets damaged or lost in post. So yeah, simple delivery coming in from today as well, what's in. Right, hang on, what's going on with the chat? Yes, good morning, Power Girl. Cheryl, you right? Vinted won't be free for business sellers forever. It doesn't bother me. Did you see my post? No, I haven't seen your post on Insta. I'll have a look. Well, the Vinted Pro in other countries has been free, and they have said Vinted Pro in the UK will be free because they make their money from spotlighting your wardrobe, so like promoting your stuff, bumping, advertising, and charging the buyer protection fee, which obviously they get this big pot and they don't always have to pay out from it. It's like an insurance, which they're profiting from overall. So apparently it will stay free, which is I guess that's in line with their profits must be, per item, I imagine, lower than eBay's, but because it doesn't, their values overall they set up to try and, save stuff from going into landfill and stuff. Funky Neil just had an email from eBay saying how the business sellers aren't hard done, but I know, I mean, the thing is, that's a piss take. That's a bit like when they rock up to a roadshow and they're asked a difficult question, or they're asked, oh, you worried about Vinted? No. Well, you clearly are, aren't you? So please give a decent answer and not something that's clearly just a lie. Good morning, Andrea. All right. Yes, Neil, it is a load of effing bull. Catherine, I haven't had an email on either account. Oh, maybe it's coming out in batches. You'll be. I'd have thought you'd be first up. They don't need to do it in batches, do they? These days, everyone should have it. Jewel started a private account yesterday. Well done, you. The only thing I'd say, for anyone selling on private accounts, is just be careful. But it does seem like the only thing you've got to lose is if they think you are operating as a business on a private account, is that they will move you to a business account. So it's kind of like, well, it's worth a shot, isn't it? They're not going to ban you. Cheryl, no business runs free. I don't get why everyone's getting my knickers in a twist. What, over Vinted Pro or the people getting their knickers in a twist about the private fees scrapping? What is simple delivery? I just talked about that. I hope that explained it, Michelle. If not, shout. Good morning, Limelight. No, I'm still quite happy they've restricted private sellers to 300 listings. Yeah, so they said in that email to business sellers that they've dropped from 1,000 to 300 free to list listings. And then it will be 35 pence per listing after that. I don't know, obviously, I don't know what the criteria are for deciding you're a business and they're going to move you over. If it's just, I imagine it's a few things, not just going over the 300. I imagine it's how much you're turning over. I don't know what else. But they said, yeah, that's one of the things they were doing to try to, well, obviously they've got to push more people into businesses because they're about to lose a chunk of money. Yeah, and they've also said that they will be actively in the email to business sellers, they'll be actively directing people over to, I can't remember the term they used, but over to business accounts if they think they are operating as a business on a private account. So, Neil, but looking forward to the inevitable fee increases to cover private sellers and our business seller benefits. That's, yeah, I've heard that mentioned, that obviously there's going to be another fee rise to cover this. There always is, isn't there? But they can't. If Vinted Pro comes, they can't keep doing this. I mean, Vinted have just introduced electronics, but there's still a lot of stuff you can't sell on Vinted that you can only sell on eBay. So eBay have got they've got the upper hand on a few things, like the global shipping program for a start, and more categories, and obviously more people on there. Still must be still more people on there worldwide, but yeah, I think if Pro comes and they've just put fees up against, again, for business sellers, I mean, who wouldn't go and try it? Cheryl, What annoys people is business sellers and private accounts. As a business, you have to pay fees. It's not free to run a business anywhere in the world. They are clamping down on private accounts. Yeah. Shelley has notes. I did write down. I was like, well, how do you what's this simple delivery thing? So I was like, where the hell is it? So I wrote it down. Yeah, that's about it, actually. It was just about simple delivery. Also, we're in Q4. Yeah, it's Q4. Starts today. So good luck, everybody. Kaz, good morning. Hope you're well. Oh, thanks. Hang on. Oh, thanks, Neil. I see our friends are in. Cheryl, if that's the case for Vinted then everyone will jump. Yeah, that's what I think eBay are panicking about. Everybody will jump. And the rumour is that Vinted Pro is coming out on October the 14th, which is possible because eBay did this without, apart from the leaked article yesterday, they did this without any warning. And I was like, hang on, they do all these seller updates and these guess what we're talking about today? And you look and you go and you go, that was boring, or that was just nothing I needed to know. Some actually decent, huge, massive news, and they don't give you any warning. It's just, it's from today, boom, and that's something we would have been interested in knowing about. I'm sure eBay will have a plan for this. Well, what will it be? Unless they completely, Depop did it. Didn't someone else do it in the US? Was it Macari? I don't know. Depop did it. They saw what Vinted were doing and they went, right, we're completely changing how we bill you. For a start, is anyone else charging for a shop? Are eBay the only people charging for a shop on the online platforms? There's so many layers to eBay's fees because pretty much every year there seems to be a new fee. It's like, there's a regulatory fee now. Oh, okay. Oh, and now we're going to charge you. It's going to be called a one-off fee on each transaction. What's that for? Oh, it's just a one-off fee. Oh, okay. And and actually now we're going to charge you a bit more if it goes international. Every year it's like they thought up another fee. So, they would have to completely, unpick all of that and go with an entirely new strategy. And it's such a massive thing, obviously, eBay, such a massive machine. I just don't know if they could do it, but they are going to lose. They are going to lose people with Vinted Pro. Which also is a good thing because they will have to react to keep people. And not only on private accounts. Neil, but eBay have always been kings of patronising management buzzword speak. And on private have to request payment. And on private have to request. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the other thing they're introducing this month, which I think is a good thing, that you'll be able to pay for things with your balance like Vinted, which I think is genius because obviously, if it hasn't already come into your bank account, it never feels like real money. So when I'm on Vinted, I'm like, I can buy that. And it feels like it's not costing me anything, even though that's obviously ridiculous. I know logically it's costing me money. But when it's just sat in your balance and you've never actually got it into your bank, it doesn't hurt as much. It's so simple. So they're doing that. Another copying thing, really. Morning, Zach and Ollie. Catherine, I'm assuming buyers don't have to pay anything extra. I haven't seen anything about that. I would assume not. That would be massive news, wouldn't it? And obviously that would put buyers off. And mind you, they do on Vinted. Obviously they have unless they're charging them. See, I haven't done anything as a buyer yet. Unless they're maybe I should go and try and buy something. Unless they're charging them the insurance, if they use the simple delivery option to cover, the insurance fee, what's it called on Vinted? I've forgotten, but unless they're doing that on the simple delivery. Neil, you're aware that Maurizio Dirigio, eBay's general manager, who got Nick and Andrea out of the payment hold earlier this year, is now CEO of Vinted. No, I did not know that. Oh, that's a popcorn moment, isn't it? So Vinted probably headhunted him then. That's very interesting. Morning, Shelley J. Cheryl, this is why it's been so up and down this year and glitchy, lots of changes afoot. They're always doing updates, constant, isn't it? This morning I was trying to send out an offer and it would just stay there. I'm like, well, I'll try again then. It just sat there, just never went anywhere, which is to be expected because obviously they're releasing a lot of stuff today. Neil, there's no plan. Neil, I have a shop on my private account. You can have a shop on a private account. I mean, surely they should do away with that, because surely that's a bit of a flag. You might want to shut that shop now in case it's one of their criteria, but I mean, that's so bizarre. Good morning, Tom. Cheryl, the strategy will be pushing car parts and car sales. Yeah, because it doesn't include motors. And they were pushing, I was going to say pumps, trainers / sneakers, car parts and luxury bags, weren't they? And luxury jewellery, because they've got the authentication feature for jewellery over £500. And they were pushing that, weren't they? They were trying to get into just luxury or more expensive areas and do away with the fluff, I suppose. But people need the fluff. Not everyone's got all that money. People need fluff to buy because fluff is their budget. All I'm seeing is eBay ads for car parts. They're pushing what differentiates them. Yeah, because that's something Vinted aren't doing. But I mean, like with Vinted opening up into electronics, I just want Vinted to open up into like craft stuff, to be honest. You can't sell craft stuff. Shall it probably be free for other items eventually? Neil, I do pay for it though, of course. It's really weird. Yeah, having a shop on a private account. I mean, obviously it doesn't make any sense. They say these things are, they said that they were doing away with fees for private sellers on clothing because they wanted to save the planet. And you're like, well, that's obviously rubbish, isn't it? Because why aren't you doing away with fees on clothing for everybody then? That doesn't make any sense. Or, all used clothing, say, what? Like, it's just rubbish, isn't it? Yeah. So I had to come on and say about that. I've only listed a couple of bits today. And I've only got a couple of, I did go sourcing locally yesterday, found nothing. And the only bits I've got going out on the V is this necklace, pendant and chain, some amber and sterling silver that went for $15.50. So there'll be profit in that, but not a ton. That was on, accepted an offer. And some kickers I bought because they're my size and Maud's size. And I paid $6.99 last week, and they were too narrow for me, and Maud didn't like them. I was like, these are really retro, Maud. Why don't you come on? And she was like, don't like them. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't bother getting a receipt because I just thought they'd fit one of us. Paid $6.99 and I just wanted my money back. So somebody offered me £8.50. So there you go, £1.50 for my time. So that's all that's going out per V. Nothing on the bay today. And I've listed a really heavy chain, which I've got. No, this wasn't from the boot, actually. This was from an antiques emporium. This is quite heavy, 35 grams. So kind of start at 70 and take offers. And then this, absolutely fabulous, from the same place. It's a jester ring. So it's sterling silver. It's from Norway. And have I got the woman's name? It says something like, let me have a look. It's AGE in there. Yeah, from Norway. And I lucked out with this. I spent £95 on that chain, this keeper ring, lovely vintage keeper ring, which will fetch a bit, a lovely modernist ring with age, and there was another ring which I think I've already sold. Must have put it on the V or something, because that's not with it. £8.50 is that after fees. That was on the V. because I literally, with stuff that I just want to get rid of, obviously I bought it for us, I don't care, I just want my money back. I didn't get a receipt, otherwise I'd probably have just taken it back, because they would have resold those again easily. Yeah, this lady, she's a Norwegian designer. Let me check after this what her name is. So, and this, I'm hoping will go for 100. Her name is Anna Greta Ika, and she's from Norway. But had no idea when I bought it, so did some research. So, well, chuffed with that. It's hopefully about £100 ring, which is the sort of stuff. Obviously, you're not going to find this stuff every day, but this is the sort of stuff I should be picking up. And if you want to list, I think if you want to list on eBay, it's already apparent. It's got to be something that stands out. I feel like there's no point. So I just I sell really cheap chains on Vinted. So like this sort of thing that you can put a pendant on. So I put this on for 7 on V. There's no point in listing something like that on eBay. Well, if you're on business, then obviously fees. If you're not, then you're competing against companies that are just shipping it in from China for God knows what. And it's just impossible. It's not going to stand out. I feel like it's getting to a stage where it's got to be sought after in some way on eBay. Like it's got to be really highly collectible, or they're rarer items. So I guess with the trainers and they're sought after, or the car parts. Not everyone's selling car parts. It's just a rarer thing to get hold of. Oh, Cheryl, I'm still after a chunky, unusual silver bracelet, artisan made. I'll know it when I see it. And got a chunk of money to one side. Yeah, okay. I was just thinking about, did I show you my, it's probably not chunky enough, but it is really unusual. Yeah, but probably not. I'm guessing chunky, you're after, I haven't got a ton of bracelets at the moment, but this is probably my favourite weighty bracelet at the moment. And it's stamped Orvis. That. It's not, I haven't even got it on that much, I don't think. That is so... I've never seen anything like that. I love it. Although, I mean, it's not... There was one sold in the US, but that sort of thing, I absolutely love that. It's unusual. Anyway, Neil Pangor, if you're ever in London, check out Stephen Einhorn, is that? Yeah. And that's the chunkiest thing I've got at the moment, but that's, probably different, because otherwise it's stuff like that. It's like 2 a penny, isn't it? It's not, yeah. But anyway, not unusual enough. I've been looking for 5 years. Ooh. Send me a pic. Have you seen anything online, or from a certain country or something that you like? Because I'd be interested. Right. Sorry, I don't know what that question is to Bloom. I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, I imagine there's going to be a lot of a massive backlash. Well, there's going to be the 2 things. And there's going to be the private sellers rolling out the barrel and having a good sing-song today. And then there's going to be the business sellers saying, for fuck's sake, Yeah, anyway, good luck with Q4. Thanks for popping in, and yeah, bye-bye, don't die. Have a good day.